you, sir, who specializes in attack response, I'd like to know your thoughts on this EDR transition to XDR. How much of it is marketing hype versus somebody in charge of a huge organization like you would ever even consider doing it?
Well, I'm not going to buck any trends here. We're actually using CrowdStrike as we speak right now,
okay.
and Tanium. So you've kind of hit both of the bullets. And I don't know, if, Eric, I don't know if this was planned. Am I being set up here?
No, sir, you are not.
But no, CrowdStrike and Tanium. So Tanium, what we mostly use Tanium for, and I wouldn't call it marketing hype, because Tanium for us has been something that will allow us to update the endpoints, whether, as soon as that machine hits the internet, period, the first order of business is going to be any updates or security patches that need to be pushed down or getting pushed down. CrowdStrike kind of remains to be seen. We've been with them for about a year and a half. And it is a push technology, so it's pushed down from the cloud as far as the actual endpoint and antivirus that it's doing. It's a sensor-based technology, rather than like, if you think of the old days of like Norton security and stuff like that, so this is more of a learning and adaptive type of an environment for the security, rather than just a simple, hey, we need to update this once a week on Tuesday. Sure. It's ongoing, 24/7. That brings a lot of safety and peace of mind to me in a large organization like this, because of the fact that I don't have to sit there and schedule the patching and the updating and all that kind of stuff. Rather, it's being managed and taken care of for me, so that I can focus on other things like growing our business and like keeping our customers safe and happy and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I'm going to bring up another group here, which generally is more thought of for the vulnerability management and the patching side. And where is Tenable? Why can't I find it? There it is. Okay. It's very interesting to me that you mentioned that, because I have now heard from multiple people, multiple CISOs, that whether it's CrowdStrike or whether it's SentinelOne or it's Tanium, they're telling them, hey guys, we can replace your vulnerability management. You don't need it. You don't need both. We can do that too. And so far, none of the CISOs I know have been taking them up on it, because they're like, I don't know. That seems scary to me, right? Like, I'm fine with whoever you use, Qualys, Rapid7, Tenable, they all do a great job, in my opinion, of what they're supposed to do, of knowing what your assets are and making sure they get patched, scanning them for vulnerabilities. And I think every CISO would be reluctant to remove that without real efficacy and proof of it.
Right.
I'm just curious from your perspective, because you did mention Tanium almost doing that for you. I don't have to wait for Microsoft Tuesday's updates and send it out. That Tanium can do that. But I've also heard CrowdStrike and SentinelOne telling their customers, you don't need these guys anymore. Like, I can do it. So I'm curious, your thoughts on vulnerability management in general, the necessity of it, and if they're maybe getting some competitive pressure from these other players.
And I think that's a great point, Eric. I think that in the future, if those offerings, like, with an organization as large as ours, obviously we want to see kind of a track record, kind of a history, like I hate to use the cliche, what have you done for me lately? But that's kind of what it comes down to is, what have you done for me lately? So we want to see some type of a track record, or, a bigger scale than just a mom and pop that is having success with that. And then I think, but I think eventually, probably within the next 6 to 12 months, I think that we're going to be looking at not only my own company, but companies around the globe are going to be looking at something like this, because let's face it, I mean, the less IT spend that we're having, that's the more that we can put into bottom line profits and growing other areas of the company. So I think that's really what it's coming down to. So Tenable, CrowdStrike, Tanium, it does seem a little bit redundant, because CrowdStrike does have that offering for the patch management and stuff like that. What we've seen in the customer service end of Tanium has been a very nimble, very flexible way for us to do those different vertical segments that we've talked about, and still keep those patches and updates in each vertical segment that are relevant to that segment. So I think for the short term, probably over the next 3 to 6 months, I don't think we're going to make any decisions on moving away from that yet. We're going to be looking for that track record history. We're going to be looking for you know, for CrowdStrike to come back, or a company like CrowdStrike, Tenable, if they're one, to say, hey, here's what we can do, and here's the track record. Look what we've got from our white papers and some of the case studies that we've done over the last 3 to 6 months, and we're going to say, oh, okay, then it's going to become more competitive.